I've got a big project today and I am very excited about it. So, we're out here in the city of Loyt, as we have been for the past episode or two, and I want to make this view more grand. Of course, it is very grand at the moment, but you know what? There's always room to improve. So, something that is missing is this area over here. We got to get it looking a little bit better. That is for sure. Let's walk over here and you can see what I mean. A lot of it's kind of hidden, but the overall goal is eventually to terraform, well, not necessarily terraform, but change around this whole island out here. So, of course, most of this I've just built this giant city on. And so, of course, on the back side of it, it looks a little bit bare, and on the sides, a little bit bare also. So let me get over here to the island. Wow, there's some funky shapes here. Why is that just jutting out like that? Looks very strange, but let me just swim right to this. Excuse my inability to move fast. I am still learning how to play on PC. This world was converted over from Xbox like 2 episodes ago on here. So, yes, a lot to learn. But yes, this whole area over here, it's nice. I think it looks really nice with the rocking, kind of the rock outcropping there coming from it underneath the bridge. But I do want to tie this all in together, that way it looks uniform. So that's how we're going to start off the video today, with a little bit of a time lapse of me doing just that. Alright, well, this doesn't look half bad. I did a few extra things to it, like adding in all the pillars here, the details on it, and the lights and stuff. I cleaned up the rocks a little bit, and then I changed up a decent bit back here, and I might still fix this further. You can see it's kind of a little strange looking up there, but it sort of depends on what I'm going to build there, I guess. And I think I might have some sort of like military kind of I guess barracks in that, so that might look completely different up there at some point. I might just have that whole space open, that way it's like a practicing area and armory or something like that. But let's swim on over here and look at the base of this. But I think just in general, it kind of caps off the end of this pretty well and makes the view from the other side look pretty good, which is what I'm going for right now. Of course, back here, there's still a lot to do going around. Let me hop up here. I also changed the detail, so I added in. So this is I guess a good tip. This is like the polished and unpolished granite. So if you want to use, I guess, granite roads like this, alternating the polished and unpolished really makes it look worn and kind of like adds just some texture to it. So I think that's pretty good. Let's go on up here. I just added some of these like pillars going around and lights. I think it looks pretty good, just kind of keeping with the same sort of theme with the area. And going up here, I decided to enclose this a little bit more. I need to do some more work on this, but I think it would be cool if I had like some rooms up here, that this would be like a small little balcony and like an opening with windows where people could look into this like walkway through this. And especially if there's like invaders and stuff, because that's kind of what this is. It's supposed to be like a fortified area. So if they come and like dock here, and the invaders are coming up here, then you could have like the guys up in the armory or something like that, the soldiers, being able to shoot down here at the little entrances into the main fortress. So that's kind of the idea that with that. Let's see. Yes, I also extended this. So this was just like this wasn't here. Like this wall ended right there, and this was kind of open. So I decided to extend this a little bit and just continue with that sort of wall structure going around through here. And then this is the area where I don't know, I don't really like it. I need to fix this. This just looks flat and strange. I might add that. Well, that's just going to improve it in general there. And then, well, I guess I could have just kept that. Let's see if I can just improve it right here on screen. So that looks a little bit better. And then this back through here, I'm going to hollow this out, and I think it's going to be a tunnel that leads up into the palace up there. So that way, if like the soldiers need to defend the palace or need to back up to that, because it will also be fortified to some extent once I get the stuff in there in that big building over there. But yeah, we can go and walk back that way a little bit, take a look at the palace. Looking pretty good. So the tunnel, it will be all like hollow throughout here, and you can go up into the defensible positions of the palace, or just this next tier up here. So this is, the whole idea of Loyt, the city over here, is just, it's a military encampment. So I'm going to be making it heavily fortified. I'm excited to get to work on the details going on in that once I get all the framing of the city. But with that project out of the way, that little project, I'm going to, I think, go back over to Catalogero. So let me get on the move. So back over here in Catalogero, and I'm outside of the city walls here, and I have a big problem. That big problem is actually really big. And so if you've been following the series for a while, you know that like I do this kind of in seasons. So like there's a lot of episodes before this, and most of them were out here in Catalogero. And one of the things was I did this giant wheat field out here on the entrance. So you can see some wheat that I left, but it went all through here, and I made it, and it was beautiful. Same as over there. There's another giant wheat field. But the problem is I have like a major wheat shortage, or seeds or anything like that, whatever it is. And so when I built the wheat farm over in Loyt, I just took apart this whole entire field and planted it over there. And I was hoping that I would get a little bit more seeds than what I got, but I finished that over there and also took some from over that way. So a lot of it is missing too. But, I need more seeds. And so the problem is, so I'm wanting to do this, but the problem is I need a lot more seeds. So hold on just a second. I'll show you how I get seeds currently. Okay, so back over here, this is where I currently get seeds. I'm under the castle here. This is where my main storage is, right around in here. I need some more diamonds. I need some more netherite too, but that's besides the point. But this over here is where I get my wheat from. It is a very old farm. I actually just recently harvested it, but that's like all the wheat seeds to my name. Not that many. And so this is the farm here, and it's nothing special, just a few blocks here and all that. Very simple design. It's not your fancy auto seed farm or auto, I don't even know what kind of farms there are these days, probably flying contraptions. I'm not much of a redstoner, but here's the thing. I like this farm, and I know how to build it. And most of y'all are probably like, with your head in your palm thinking, why is he going to continue with this? But I'm just going to do this, but I'm going to expand this way back here and just make this bigger, just because it'll be fun, I just like this farm. It's classic. It's what I like to do, and I'm going to build it right now. And just like that, it is completed. Look at all that beautiful golden wheat through here. And I added 2 layers. I actually thought that I might add more layers to this, but I kind of ran into a bit of a problem where I put it up into the other farms up there, and well, you all probably don't even know what I'm talking about. But needless to say, there's other builds up there, so this is fine. This is fine for right now. I don't need that much wheat long term. I just need a lot right now. And I'm sure this is just a nice, beautiful design for you all that love your nice automatic farms, micro farms. But just look at this. This is 2016 Minecraft, the peak of that. Look at all that wheat that I just got. Too much to even be able to hold. But yeah, it it works. It does the job. So that's how it works. It just lets the water out, and then I just plant it all back again. So super simple, and the build is really ugly, especially because I had to have way more lighting than I thought, since this was not an outdoor farm. This is indoor, so I had to add quite a bit more stuff. So it looks really ugly, but that's okay. It is down here at my kind of storage area, I guess. So I'm going to collect a lot of wheat, and then I'm going to go out and see if I can finish up that field. Wow, would you look at this? All filled in. It looks really cool like this, actually, just with all the green. There's not really a way to, I guess, just keep it as this green state, but it would be pretty cool. I mean, I love the just natural wheat color. I know, like sugarcane, you can put like a string on top of it and slow the growth stage, or not slow it, but stop the growth stage. But I don't think anything like that exists for wheat, so I guess it will eventually all grow in. I used the little mechanism that I built for the most part of this, but at some point I came over here and I was like, I'm not going all the way back over there to the farm because I ran out of wheat. So I took like a big strip out of here, and I still didn't have enough, so I took a big strip out of this. Oh, goodness. But I must admit, it is a lot easier doing this on the Java edition because you have your offhand. So like when I was doing this, when I originally created this in Bedrock, I would just have to like go up a strip and then go like, hoe a strip through here and then go back with the seeds and do that. But the problem was there's no source blocks in here because I didn't want any like blank gaps. I wanted this all to just be one big uniform field. So they would like turn to the unhoed state like shortly after. So I could only do like maybe 10, 11, 12 blocks at a time. And then I would have to come back and do the same thing. And man, it took forever to do all this. But with here in Java edition, you can just sit here and like hold the hoe down and the seeds in the offhand and just go through just block by block. It makes it so much quicker. So that's really nice. So this is completed out here, and I just need to let it grow in, and then eventually I'm going to do the area over by the mountain. But that's even bigger than this area, I think. So that may take a little bit of time. But yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed the video. And if you did and you want to see more of this series, I've got a ton of big plans coming up. Next episode, I think I'm going to stay out here in Cattle one, but I would love to have you all along for the journey. So see you in the next video.